So when you can build up this kind of emotion because you tell a great story, because you honor somebody else, you're then going to use a pro technique that almost nobody knows. And this is something only professional speakers that get ovations, standing ovations at the end of their speaking are able to do. The reason they can get a standing ovation is this. They use the bounce technique. So what the bounce technique is, you get the emotion up really high, just like your favorite motivational speaker, just like your favorite preacher who's able to cycle through different kinds by being quiet. And then by getting really loud and motivating people, right? Eric, the hip hop preacher, whatever it might be. Alrighty. Here we go. So today, for office hours, I wanted to talk about killer presentation skills. And maybe you've taken Toastmasters or you've done speaking or debate in high school or college, but I'll bet you that all of us need a little refresher in being able to present dynamically, being able to communicate well, whether it's through public speaking, through meetings, through one-on-one Zooms, through talking to clients, through talking with loved ones, through negotiating, if you're like a Chris Voss, all kinds of forms of communication. And I learned years ago through Toastmasters how not to say. I learned how to deliver a 1-minute impromptu speech, which is called table topics. I learned how to not be afraid in front of audiences. And I wanted to share some of the techniques that I learned and then practice here with all of us so that we can get the feedback from everybody else. What do you guys say about that? So we'd like...
You're going to make us practice?
You're already practicing when you're speaking. Are you practicing breathing? We're already doing it. Not right, we're not doing it. So we want to do it better. I want to share with you an example. I always like to teach from examples because there's nothing better, the idea of learn, do, teach, than from other people who actually have done the thing versus just talking about the thing. And here's 10 bullet points that I wanted to cover today, but I want to start with my friend Colin Wayne Ehrman, who I visited in Huntsville, Alabama, maybe a year ago, and he's the CEO of Redline Steel. And he literally just went to his Facebook page and went live. It wasn't scheduled. He didn't use any ads. And I want to show you what happened when we did this live. And I'm going to pause along the way. I'm going to show you what he did to drive great engagement, to build a sense of community with his people, and things that we can use too, even if we're not an influencer, even if we don't have millions of followers. So to give you context, I flew in from Amman, Jordan, in the Middle East, straight to Huntsville, Alabama, to spend a day and a half with him because he runs a big e-commerce store. He's the largest home furnishing company in the US. He's got this factory with 100,000 square feet. So we're walking from his office to the factory manufacturing floor with all these different kinds of machines. And I have a day and a half with him. We're making tons of videos and I'm flying to London the next day. So this is what happened. He decided that while we were walking through the factory, he was just going to go ahead and go live. And this is what he did. Oh, we got to turn the sound on.
You in the back. We're going to be doing a contest giveaway. Super excited for it. Real quick, while I'm joining in, comment if you're watching this live, comment where you're coming in from. Also, if you are watching this on replay.
Notice that he said replay, so he knows that most of his traffic is coming off the replay. Okay? Anytime you go live, if you do a good job, you're going to get 3 times, 4 times more traffic on the replay than you're going to get live.
Website, and it's brand new. I'm excited to share with you guys what that is. We're going to be giving away 3 items in total.
So he's giving context into what he's doing. So instead of just hanging out live, waiting for people to come, he's saying, we're going to give away some items, so stay tuned. You're going to see a lot of this in common with Home Shopping Network, with radio hosts, with people that do charity, donation, hackathon kinds of things. Notice the techniques that he's using.
Products that you can't even purchase if you wanted to.
Because he came up with them an hour ago when we were having lunch. He designed some items, sent them into his team, and they printed these things out. So he created exclusivity and scarcity by saying, you can't even get this anywhere else. That's right, because he created them an hour ago and had them printed. Just like the session we're having here today, live, or if you're watching on the replay, you can't get this anywhere else. That is technically true. I can't get Dr. Kim Grimes anywhere else because she's uniquely who she is. So isn't it interesting how you can say things like this that are true, right? Look at these people even calling me. Okay, let's come back to where we were here.
So guys, check this out, and if you like it, join the contest. It's very simple. All you have to do is share this video and comment the word done when it's complete. And that's gonna let us know that you liked the video, shared the video, and then comment the word done.
Notice that he's asking for engagement explicitly. So he's not saying because I'm trying to bump up my exposure in the newsfeed. It's because I want to know you're there, because I want to know where you're from, because I want to know how you're doing. So he's created a lot of empathy. Who is this guy? Who's even calling me? He's called me twice. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Well, ridiculous. Okay, let's get back to here. I think with iPhone you can mute, but if they call twice, you can have a setting where it goes all the way through. Okay, let's go back here. Sorry about that.
Very simple. This is what we're giving away. Since Christmas is right around the corner, we're gonna be choosing 2 winners live and 1 winner to give everybody a chance. So whether you're watching this on replay or you're watching this live, you still have an opportunity to win this product. So we had 3 different color options.
Notice he didn't dilly-dally. He went straight into it. He wasn't waiting till the audience built up larger and larger. He went straight into it because he knows the majority of the traffic is coming on the replay, and his giveaway is coming. He's giving away an item for people that are watching the replay.
The green, the black, and the red. Now, this is the way it's going to work. When you share this video, comment the word done, and what we're going to do is we're going to choose 2 winners live. For some reason, this Facebook app's not showing me comments. You seen that before? Hold on, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. It's not showing any comments, and I can't do a giveaway if we don't have the keyword. So bear with me real quick. This is the product that we're going to be giving away. 3 different colors, but the way it's going to work is we're going to choose 2 people live and 1 person on a replay. Where win this product, the replay winner will choose that winner on Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the 2 people that win, I'll let you know what color that we're giving away up to the live winner, so you know exactly which one it is. These are sample items. If you like it, let us know, comment below. And again, I've got a special guest with me. Got Dennis Yu, who flew in all the way from where? Where'd you fly in from? Amman, Jordan. And where are you going tomorrow? London. Going to London. Insane. He spent like the last 18 hours on an airplane, and now he's about to spend. He's like already we're talking about time zones. It's like 11 time zones, and over the past 7 days, he's been in like 10 different countries. 5 countries. Insane. Went to visit this guy. That's why. Yeah, that's why he flew all the way from Rome. So he said Rome all the way to London just for 24 hours to hang out with me. So really, really cool. But excited to have you here, man. What's this Facebook thing would work, bet? Guys, we're going to be giving away 3 items that have never been on our website, and it will be an exclusive product. I did this on the main Facebook page. I may need to do it from the normal Facebook page, then go to our Facebook. It's not showing me comments. I don't even know. I can't even do this. Any dots? So you may wonder who this guy is and why I'm giving him a massive shout out. He's an expert at marketing, worked at Yahoo for a long time, and is a genius when it comes to anything on the marketing side. So that's why I'm asking him, like, hey man, what do I do? You see, oh good, so at least I can use them all videos, yeah. Because this is what I see. I don't know if I can't flip. So comments are coming through on his screen, so we could do it that way. But if they're literally on him, you don't see comments, do you? Make comments on? No. But we got comments on his. So good deal. So we found our workaround. Good deal, sweet. That's teamwork, man. I appreciate that. Awesome. Which one's your favorite color? Which one would you prefer? The red? Deep red. Yeah. And when the right hits it, like you can see the translucent grinds. I really like this one. Comment the red, what's your favorite color? And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to be giving all 3 of these away. 2 of these will be live, and 1 winner will be on a replay. So all you got to do is share this video and then comment the word done. Make sure you comment the word done and share this video, or we're not going to be able to
Notice how he's asking for engagement at every point. And also because it's a live, he's not assuming that people were there in the beginning. So he's restating what the objective is. So it's okay to restate what you're doing multiple times.
You validate that you entered the contest. And so when you share the video, come back and then comment the word done. And that just lets us know that you participated in this giveaway. And we'll choose 3 winners. 2 of them will be live. And again, these products have never been on our website. We created them and cut them this week. If you guys think we should add this to the website, let us know. Comment the word Christmas. So that's our keyword. Comment the word Christmas. And if I get 300 people that comment the word Christmas, I'll add it to the website for the next week. How about that? So let's see how many people can comment the word Christmas. And if you comment the word Christmas, that means you're on it. So that's what that means. I'm going to hold you accountable. 3 different colors. This is the green. I showed off the red, but I don't want to be biased. The green looks absolutely amazing as well. And of course, as always, we have the black matte finish. So guys, for those of you who are joining in as we speak, we're doing a contest giveaway for all 3 of these items. We're going to choose 2 winners live. So literally, as you're watching this, we're going to be giving away 2 of these live. And then what we're going to do is at Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, whichever color that I did not give away, because we're giving away the sample items. These aren't even available yet. We have some people commenting Christmas. So. Awesome. So guys, share the video, comment the word done. And the way this is going to work, I'll explain the rules. I'm going to pick a keyword. Now, the only way that you can say that keyword is if you shared the video and commented the word done. Okay? That's how you join this contest to begin with. Now, once you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to select a keyword, and I'll tell you what that word's going to be. And then literally as it's live, now there's about a 5 to 7 second delay. And the way it's going to work is I'm going to go and I'm going to count down from 5 all the way to 1, 1 being the winner. And I'm only going to say your name once. You have to live within the United States to participate because we only ship within the U.S. You need to be at least 18 years or older to participate in this giveaway. So very, very simple rules. And then the biggest one is that you share the video and comment the word done and then whatever root word. So we're going to do 2 different product colors and we're going to give it to you away for free. So over $180 worth of product that we're giving away live. And then 1 person, if you commented the word done and shared the video, will win. So no matter on this live stream, keep this in mind, guys. No matter if you are not watching this live, you can still participate. So over the next 48 hours, you can watch this on a replay, share it, and comment the word done, and we'll pick a winner at random on Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, so since this is Christmas themed, it says we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So why don't we already used the word Christmas as a keyword, and I need to see 300 comments with the word Christmas. And what I'll do is I'll add this to the website for like a 7-day period. We'll do kind of like a product of the week. We'll release it since Christmas is going to be here. We'll create this product, 3 different colors, black, green, red, but I'm only going to do it if 300 people comment the word Christmas. So what we'll do is we'll tally that up. And if we hit that goal tomorrow, we'll launch the product and we'll go from there. So let's see, what keyword should we use? It could be any keyword. You guys know what the keyword is? Word is not. Oh, I like it. Okay. Everyone knows how to type that, so it's very simple. All right, so this is how it's going to work, guys, is comment the word happy. And what we're going to do is Dennis's phone, because my comments aren't working. Literally, Facebook's comments aren't coming up on my screen, but I'm going to use his. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top so you know as I'm seeing it's live. It's not like people that I said, hey, go and comment over here and I'm giving it to my neighbor. Like it's all as transparent as possible. And if you comment the word happy, that is how we're going to choose the first winner. Now, if you do not win, don't take it personal, guys. You can also win on Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time where we pick another winner at random. And then also after this keyword, we're going to do 1 more keyword and Dennis is going to pick it. And we're going to allow 1 more winner. So 2 people, 1 person on a replay, just share the video, comment the word done. And it's that simple. Over $180 worth of product we're giving away for free.
just to show our appreciation for you guys, because we're so appreciative and supportive of just everybody. We couldn't be here without your support. So we genuinely appreciate you guys. So we want to do gift backs. So one simple way is to do that is to give these away for free. I'm even going to cover the cost of shipping. And so essentially it's 100% free and I'll cover all the costs. So comment the word happy. That's the word that we're looking for. And what I'll do, you can see that they're popping up. I'm going to scroll up so you can see this is the last comment was through Audrey. And what I'm going to do is as soon as I'll let you know, I'm going to count from 5 all the way to 1 being the winner. And I'm looking for the keyword, which is happy. I'm not going to say your name more than once because I want to get 5 people in equal chance. But my suggestion is to comment as many times as possible to make sure that you hit that entry. So guys, hit that thumbs up button, hit the heart, and then comment the word happy. Let's go ahead and start this contest right. 3, 2, 1, right now. So Polly Cade is, oh geez, what I do? Hold on. Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Julie is 5. Pamela is 4. How do you say that name, Julie? And Julie is 3. Trisha is 2. Terry Jean, you're number 1. So you are our contest winner, lucky number 1, Terry Jean. So congratulations. I didn't bring a pen and paper, but Terry Jean, I've got that memorized. Terry Jean.
What do you guys think of that? Isn't that neat? So this thing got 8,500 comments. So what did he do to get so many people to show up live and comment on his video that was not promoted, that was purely organic? What was about his technique? What about his engagement? How did he draw people in? Was it the size of his audience? Was it because of what he said? Was it because he was attractive? Was it because he did it on his page instead of his profile? What do you guys see is the key there? What do you think?
What I see is that he did it. It wasn't practice. He just did it. And that's what I saw. It was spontaneous and he was in the moment and it happened.
I think part of it is that I'm sorry, Dr. Kim, are you done? I'm sorry.
I am. Yes. Thank you.
I felt that he was 2 things. He was enthusiastic and he kept it pretty simple. I think that is 2 of the things that made it worthwhile. Now, this is just a personal opinion. I think, he took too long to get there. I think maybe one of the reasons his comments weren't on there is I think you can swipe right or left and hide your comments. So maybe his comments had got hidden, and so, but other than that, I think he took a little too long to get there. It seemed like maybe it was getting a little too complicated, but I was critiquing it. I wasn't participating. And maybe if I was participating, I'd have felt differently. So that's just my comment.
Yeah. With things like lives, you want to make them at least 15 minutes. So you have to find a way to engage and entertain without making it seem like you're stalling. Because when you do the giveaway and you want people to come in and comment, if you do it within the first 2 or 3 minutes, you're only going to get a couple dozen comments because people are starting to come in. People come in to a live stream because they get notified from Facebook because they're following that person or one of their friends engages. So that normally takes about 5 minutes. So you'll notice, I think he did it about minute 6. He started giving these pieces away. So he's done hundreds of these kinds of giveaways. And so that kind of engagement is actually normal for him. So the key is, just like with a telethon or a charity giveaway, or you're in an auction, how do you drive engagement, but keep things going for another 10 or 15 minutes when you really have nothing to say? I think a lot of pastors are good at doing that. A lot of live TV news correspondents where they're following a car chase scene and they have to somehow fill that time, but keep the people there. These are the techniques that they're using. So that's why I wanted to show you that, to show how does someone who's a pro be able to do things like that. And if we look at his profile, or actually we'll just, yeah, go ahead.
Is the 15 minutes like hard rule, or that is just sort of like recommended because that's kind of how much time it takes for people to get there and get it all going?
It's less a rule and it's more just human psychology, right? Audience building. So it's not like Facebook is declaring that it needs to be, this long or whatnot, but just any kind of live stream, for it to be meaningful, you have to give people enough time to be able to show up. And you can schedule it and you can premiere it like you can on YouTube and premiere it on Facebook. But generally, if it's only 5 minutes, by the time you've ended, that's where people are just starting to find out. And by the time they see it, it says, oh, this video is already ended.
My guess is too, Dennis, is that if you're starting out with a smaller audience, could you watch how your statistics or your people are joining when that levels off? Then you can maybe take a few more minutes and go. Or so when you have a larger audience already, it's going to take a while, 15 minutes to build, where somebody just starting out might only take 5 or 8 minutes to build. Does that play into it at all? Or do you need to at least stretch it out to 10, 15 minutes no matter what?
The smaller the audience, the harder it is to build minimum traffic for it to work. So if your audience is small, and you see, there's this momentum that occurs with live streams or groups or speaking in audiences or having get-togethers, that there's a different dynamic when there's only, say here, maybe a dozen of us versus 1,000 of us. So what he's trying to do is get to stadium level engagement where you have thousands of people. So imagine thousands of people at a Justin Bieber concert versus just, 10 people with Justin Bieber in the subway or something like that, right? It's a different kind of dynamic. So it takes longer, or it might even be impossible for someone with a small audience to get to that minimum level that drives, because this is sociology. There's studies done where somebody will meet their dream, actor or idol or celebrity. Let's say it's the Justin Bieber example. And if you were to meet Justin Bieber just walking along somewhere on the sidewalk, or meeting, at the dentist office, you're not going to act all crazy and yell and scream. I mean, probably not. Versus in a stadium where it's a concert and there's lots of other people that are yelling and screaming over Paris Hilton, or like whoever it is, they're, famous, whatever famous performer, it's okay. So what he's done is he's built a big enough audience that he's encouraged all of them in a concert stadium-like format to be able to emote. And that's why he seeds it by saying things like, we just want to give back. We appreciate you guys. All of you guys want to honor you, because if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have this community. So he's seeding it with gratitude. So all of that is intentional. Everything that he says there is intentional. And that's why I wanted you guys to listen. When you look at a pro, it's easy to criticize them and think, oh yeah, they're just repeating themselves, or I could do that too, or they could get to the point faster, or, whatever it is. But then try doing what he's doing. Try dissecting the exact words that he uses, and you'll see that there's genius. And when you see a pro do something, it looks easy, like throwing a football looks easy, shooting a basketball, doing whatever it is, it looks easy. But then when you try to do it, you find there's a lot of nuance you didn't realize that's there. So when I see a pro and I say pro, not because they have a big audience, not because I like them, not because I think they sound good, or not because I think that they're an expert, but because I see that they have driven a particular result. In this case, this guy is driving, I want to say, close to $100 million a year in sales, largely through Facebook as his primary channel. So it's not that he's got a lot of followers. It's not that he's like, look, he's got 750,000 people here. If we look at him, right, we got a lot of stuff back to, he's only got a couple thousand friends. Only 100,000 people follow him. He's got a blue check here. It's not because of, or it's not even because of this blue check mark or the famous thing. It's because he has driven a business result that I find very admirable, which is starting a factory from nothing and scaling it and driving sales and spending a few $1 million a month on Facebook ads and doing it the right way. I got a chance to look at his ad campaigns. I advise him on the strategy and, what's coming next. And that's why I spent time with him and stayed at his house and, this kind of thing. It's because he is awesome and he is a practitioner. So I'd look carefully. I'd look beyond. I'd go past Dunning-Kruger and I'd go into what are the things that I don't know in terms of being able to drive audience, right? It's easy to look at someone who's a professional musician. They sing, they play the piano, and think, well, I could do that too. But there's a lot of these other sorts of nuances. So I want you guys to see those kinds of components. Okay, so let's see. I created a document for you guys. Not that one, this one. So now I want to get into practice. I want us all to practice these particular components to be able to present. So we have a small group here. And actually, can you guys even see my screen or no? Yes? Okay, I'm going to stop the share so that we can go back into our little mode, a little group of faces. See Dr. Kim. All right. First thing I'm going to do is practice acknowledging people by name. Most people have so much trouble just speaking the words clearly on what they're trying to deliver that they can't have that extra level of headroom to be able to acknowledge that it was so awesome seeing Thomas McMillan a week ago in San Diego and see that he's taking notes and us making 1-minute videos together. Or to acknowledge that Jeremy is helping us roll out an amazing mini SEO course for the thousands of people that have raised their hand that want SEO. Or Dr. Kim, where she's constantly being her, even if it costs her a little bit of sleep to be able to get her stuff done, because sometimes that's what it takes, and it's about winning ugly. Or Jay Franco, because we're going to be talking a little bit later. I want to say, what is it, an hour or two, something like that? We're going to be talking about her brand. Or Tucker, who had the same picture as me when we came in here to the Zoom call. So the key with a great live presentation is acknowledging the people that are there. Notice how Colin in his live stream was constantly acknowledging the other people. He was specifically naming people. He was naming me because I was right there. He was naming other people that he sees in the live stream. He was creating these callbacks where he wanted people to say where they're from or what they're up to or whether they would like to have this item in stock or what their favorite color was. So I want you guys to practice right here. Feel free and unmute yourself and say something specific about other members here or multiple members here inside office hours. You guys ready? Anybody can go.
All right, I'll go.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
I just want to say I'm really thankful for being a part of this office hours group. The things that I've learned from Dennis, but also other people in the group, has been invaluable to me. Even though I haven't taken as much action as I'd like to in a lot of these tools, I've used a lot of these tools. I've recommended a lot of these tools. We're working with a video guy, our sales manager is, and I introduced him to some of the products that we've talked about using. So I really appreciate the things I've learned here. Also, I appreciate the opportunity to network with other people who are outside of my industry and can give me some good insight into doing things from a different perspective. So for those reasons, I'm very thankful I'm in this group, and I'm thankful Dennis put it together. And I want to thank all of you for participating and contributing to my success.
Fantastic. Who else?
Okay.
I'd love to hear from other folks who maybe we don't hear from as much normally. Maybe like Howard, or I see Nick Stover. We don't even see his face. Or maybe even Tucker. I'd love to see Tucker's face and say a little something. Give a little 15-second story. Say something specific about another member that's here, right? Isaac is here. And you guys, go ahead and start. Or if you want, I'll assign topics. Tucker, there you go.
Yeah, I'll hop in here. So I guess I'll start with kind of a story. So I joined office hours. My first time was in the middle of April, and I started working with Dennis and have learned far more than I could have ever imagined, and I'm still learning every day. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to work with him and others on this call. For example, Dr. Kim. We were just texting back and forth, and she sent me over some 1-minute videos. So I'm excited to be working with people in such a tight-knit community that really, really care about each other and want to see each other succeed. I'm really grateful for that.
Fantastic. See, that's public speaking. It's weaving in other people into the conversation. Who wants to give it a go?
I got called out here. I'll say hi.
Yeah, here great.
Good. So yeah, I didn't have my video on. I was actually in the middle of a jog when we started this. So this is our time of day to listen to you, tune in, get some exercise and some insight. I've got 2 young daughters under the age of 2. They were on camera with me last week, one of them at least. So my free time is very limited, but that's why I appreciate this group and everything that Dennis has been able to provide me over many years, actually. One of the reasons I followed Dennis almost religiously is she gets right to the heart of the matter and really helps me cut through the fluff that a lot of other gurus online provide. So really appreciate this group, the enthusiasm of everyone. And even though I don't show my face, usually for good reason, I don't want you guys to bear watching me change diapers or sweat it out outside. So thanks to Dennis and everybody in the group. Really appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Nick. So glad you're here, being real. Who else? Jump in. This is your shot.
I'll go. How about, so I've been working in the office hours group for, I don't even know how long now. I think I've been in for quite a long time. and it's been really interesting because it's gone from seeing Tucker come in for an interview during one of the office hours, and now he's part of the weekly office hours, to knowing Isaac through Digital Marketer, meeting Tom Hawkins and spending time with him on Clubhouse, to being pumped up at the end of an office hours by Dr. Kim, which is probably weekly, every 6 weeks. And and then just getting all the knowledge and information that Dennis provides throughout the time, and meeting all of you and getting to know you and what your businesses are has been a fantastic it's like a bonus of being inside of office hours, and I appreciate all of you.
Awesome. That was a great job, Thomas. You incorporated, I think, 5 mentions there. The more mentions, the better. So it doesn't have to be a testimonial. It can be honoring and appreciating other people and what they've achieved. It can be that simple. So what I want right now is more practice of all of us learning how to do that fluidly, naturally. The more practice we have doing it, the better we become. Who else?
I would like to go.
All right.
So being on office hours since, I want to say, beginning of the year, it's when I began, probably around February, has been such a phenomenal impact on me that I have the opportunity every week during a pandemic to meet new people. I remember the first time that Tom showed up on the call, so inquisitive, always asking questions. And there were questions that I wanted to ask, but Tom had the courage to ask. So I was happy about him asking those questions. And Jeremy, I remember you being on the call when you were there and sharing, and at first not showing your video, but then showing your video as well. I remember Isaac as well coming in, because Isaac reminds me of a friend of mine. Look, they look so much alike, and every time I see Isaac, I think of my friend Kevin. And so I was there when Tucker showed up for that interview. I was so excited for Tucker that I wanted to do it, knowing that I didn't want to do it, but I was so excited. I remember like pinging Dennis saying, I want to do it. But and now I have an opportunity to work with him one-on-one, and to see Thomas, right? And you sharing how much I'm able to share and motivate you guys. I want to point out that a part of this is a gift of mine that I've learned over the years how to own and embrace and walk in it, right? And so every week I get to meet someone new. Like, I haven't met JJ yet, but hi JJ and Jay Franco. What's up, girl? How you doing? Right? And so I don't know if it's George or Jorge, but I like them both. So, but when you came on before and you shared the way you shared, it was so motivating. And Howard, you are the calm, the peaceful, the serene, like you show up and you're there. And so I appreciate it. And so, Gayla, I haven't met you. Mark, I do remember talking with you, but Gayla, I do look forward to connecting with you as well. Same thing with you, Nick. I love that photo of you. And Shika, I probably chopped that up, but please forgive me. And Afram, I may have chopped that up. But here's my point. Your presence here with us means so much. Dennis is amazing because he brings us together, right? But without you, there will not be any office hours. So for that, I'm grateful. Thanks for being here.
No energy left. She's got it all.
You hit everybody. Did we miss anybody? I think you got them all, Dr. Kim.
Did I get them all? Yay! I do want to emphasize, guys, communication is my gift. I just love to do it. So, but I don't want you to feel intimidated or anything, because you all know I empower you to be you. You are you unapologetically. You owe no one an apology when you show up being you. So be you unapologetically. Thank you, guys.
Now notice that 10% of what people are saying are the words, and 90% of it is subconscious, like Kim's energy. Notice the energy level that she has. And so that is infectious. And when you think about all the other items that comprise communication and how people feel and the way you say things, especially on video, you see the power of 1-minute videos of what Dr. Kim just did, which we want to chop up and be able to promote so people can get a sense of who she is and what it's like working with her and buying her courses and going through her different kinds of programs. And even with relatives in the back, or I saw Jay Franco, was that a cat that went by in the background there just a minute ago? Right?
That was not my pity.
Pit bull, awesome. And so those are all, those little imperfections or unplanned moments are the key to making authentic video for things that don't look like ads, that build the personal connections. By the way, when you make a video, notice that you lose half of your energy. It just happens. When you turn the camera on, you have to compensate the fact that it takes away half your energy. So you need to put in twice as much energy, and it may feel that you are being too loud, but you're going to find it actually comes off normal in video in the replay. So that's the other point I wanted to make. Now I want to...
Dennis, I learned that years ago when I used to cut commercials back in the late 80s, early 90s, that you had to overemphasize just to sound normal. Same, and especially it's worse on the radio. You do a voice for radio, same thing. So good point.
Yeah. But they cycle through up and down, but the way they do the bounce and the thing that creates empathy and the thing that causes the audience to stand up in a standing ovation is they throw the energy back at the user. And the way you bounce or reflect back the energy is you use the word you. So when you tell a story, such as when I was 18, I dropped out of high school because I wanted to be a professional athlete and I wanted to work for Nike. And that was my dream, but it got crushed because they wouldn't even accept me. They wouldn't even interview me. I didn't know what to do because I wanted to be a professional 10K, 5K runner. And I didn't see another way. And my dreams were dashed. You know, when you have something that you really hope for, but it doesn't come through, right? So you tell a story, you build up the emotion, and then you use the word you. So you throw it back to them by saying, Brendan Burchard has the classic example. He gets in a car wreck, nearly kills himself. And at that moment, he looked up at the moon, and it was so big, like it was speaking to him. And he said, when the moon is so big, when it lights up the whole sky and you feel like it's the middle of the day, or when you know that things are going to be okay, and you have that feeling. So notice how many times I've used the word you. So I'm telling a story about something that's happened to me. I'm building up the emotion, and then I'm using the word you in any particular format to be able to throw the emotion back at them. So if I'm telling a story, or I'm telling someone else's story on Dr. Kim, on how her husband went to the hospital and had a health scare, and how she's so glad that he just walked right behind her in the video just now, and you could tell the whole story about that and say, when you want something so bad, when something important is at risk, and you realize how valuable it was to you and how appreciative you are. There's so many different ways to use the word you, but when you have an emotional moment, you want to then have the next sentence be you, when you, if you, when this you, or you want to use the word you. And the difference between a dictatorial, didactic, preach at you one way, I'm up higher than you, I'm talking down at you kind of speaker, versus one who is empathetic and you feel like they care, is because they're able to throw back that empathy by using the word you, and it is an intentional technique. When you start using it well, it becomes like NLP and it becomes subconscious. And people who are really good at it, they will bounce back and forth many times, from telling a story to using the word you, back to telling a story, back to the word you. And they may even bounce 2 or 3 times back and forth in the same sentence. And it becomes so fluid because they have so much practice. When you feel that there's rapport, you can tell when you have rapport, when you're with a friend and you're just chilling and you're not even saying a word, but you're just in the same vibe. That kind of rapport is built off of the bounce. So the bounce is a powerful psychological technique that can be used for manipulation. It can also be used for good. So it's not necessarily something that's bad. But now that I've told you this little secret of what the bounce is, I would love for everyone here to practice a sentence or two using the bounce. And it might feel a little uncomfortable, trying to find a way to use the word you, but I'd like to give everyone a shot here and see what you think. Who wants to give it a go? Give some sentence describing a situation that has some kind of emotional impact, and it doesn't have to be a life-threatening, major, monumental thing. It could be simply,
I'll try
I
it.
was at Starbucks and I had to wait in line, and I hated waiting in the drive-thru. You know, when whatever it might be. There's many ways to do this.
I'll try it.
Okay, let's hear Yala.
So I was walking on the beach this morning, and you know how it feels when you've got your feet in the sand and the waves are crashing over your toes, and you see the sun sparkling on the ocean, and you just feel like you are living your best life. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Good. You used you maybe 9 times there. Is it Gala? Did we say it right?
It's gala.
Gala, sorry, Gala. So, Gala, try this. 2 things that hopefully it's not too many things to try to give you at once at the same time. I want you to start from your experience, and I want you to access how you feel, how you felt being on the beach, and maybe some details, a couple small details, like where it was a Tuesday afternoon, you felt the sand between your toes, you smell the salt air, something that just helps us paint the scene. So you develop that emotion, and once you've built that up, then you can bounce it.
Okay, so let me try it again.
Yep. Try one more time. Build it up, just a sentence or two with a couple specifics in it. Then go to the bounce. And when you do the bounce, you don't have to say the word you many, many, many times. You just need to say it once. And then you go back for a story, and then you can bounce it. So anytime you say the word you, you've bounced it, but you don't have to say you over and over again. So
Okay.
put that up, then go to you. And then the second piece of advice I have for you, Gayla, is I want you to look in the camera.
I've got my Zoom on the wrong monitor, so let me try.
So it's weird because then you're looking at the camera instead of the audience. Now I have it set up where I have a TV behind the camera so I can see all of you and look in the camera at the same time.
I've been making these videos on the beach that I've been accumulating for our little public profile project that we've got going on, and so all my profiles are being updated still. So I haven't started really publishing them yet, but I'm accumulating them, and a lot of them I've made when I'm walking on the beach. So it's kind of fun. It keeps it, and I'll mix it in. So I love just heading to the beach in the morning, and especially when it's on the low tide side and the sun's just sparkling on the water, and just putting my feet in that warm sand feels so good. And I just wonder, when was the last time you really enjoyed putting your toes in the sand and feeling the warmth of the sun on your face? Is that not enough, like bouncing it to you?
That's good. So I felt the bounce there, right? Yesterday I was walking on the beach and I had to stop and pause and realize how awesome it was, even though I've been to the beach many times, and feel the sand and just the breeze coming over my hair, even though I don't have any hair and I'm slightly sunburned. You know, when it's something that you take for granted because you've seen it so many times. But you see, so there I said you, right?
Okay.
So the key is you want to
And
make
you want it to feel really natural.
Yeah.
And so in order for it to feel natural, I see how you kind of have to practice it over and over again in order to be able to do it without it feeling a little contrived.
Yeah. But the key is, Gayla, that you did it. And so it just takes, anytime you do something the first or second time, it's a little bit awkward because you're learning the technique. But I promise you, practice it. And after a few days, it's going to come naturally. And you will be a more powerful speaker without other people realizing, what is it about her? She has this personal power. She seems to care. She has this empathy. And it's because you're using the bounce technique.
I'll have to try that in my morning videos, because I did notice today, because I've been trying to stretch the videos to about 5 minutes so that they have a little more substance to them. And so I noticed today that I was doing better, not as much. And it takes like a minute to think, okay, I'm not gonna here where I might normally just because you're kind of gathering your thoughts. So
No.
so I do see how as I make them more, I get a little more fluid with it.
It's just practice. Every day on the beach, 5 minutes. Why not? Go for it. Just like Colin Wayne Ehrman, he's gone live hundreds of times. He's a pro. Looks easy, doesn't it? Great job. Who else? How about Mark? Lauren, you got a story in you.
As soon as I typed that comment, I knew you were gonna do that. I was watching. Good. That's good. Yeah, it's funny, this bounce thing, I use it in landing pages, and it's fantastic for getting conversion. So yeah, it works really, really well.
How about video? Even better, right?
What's that, sorry?
In video, it's even better.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't got to that point where I can start doing these videos. I got to get over that. So that's on my action list.
What's it going to take?
Just doing it. I was coaching a client earlier today, and they were like, "Oh, they're building a sales page, and they didn't have their video yet." I'm like, "But just do it right now. Like, let's take your phone out. Let's go." And she just went blush. I was like, "You can fix it tomorrow. You can redo it tomorrow if it doesn't work." So I have to take my own advice and just do it.
Just did. You told a story, coaching a client, and then you used the word you. Or sometimes you have to take your own advice. See, so you did a bounce, maybe unintentionally, or was that intentional?
Oh, that was completely unintentional.
It's subconscious. It's great.
Like when you said it's practice, because I've been applying it more for copywriting, and it's something I've been practicing every day. And like you say, it becomes natural. So I did not realize.
You're doing copywriting, and great copywriting, is of course based on empathy, where people connect and then you can pull them up aspirationally. So now you just need to do that in video. You already are doing it and writing copy. Now you just need to say the words, actually say the words.
My fear on the video, and I think it's probably in my head, but I've got like kids running around, and I've got dog constantly barking at like the wind blowing, right? And
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, oh, it's got to be polished, and it's got to be and
The imperfections. Did you notice the one with Colin where there are machines in the background and he couldn't get the video to work properly and some other random thing happened? He just kept going with it. Yeah. That's actually not that you want to intentionally inject randomness, but those little details are what people really appreciate.
Yeah.
If it's too perfect, it's a commercial, then people don't trust it. It's too good looking. It looks like stock. There's some clients that we work with, like Colin. He looks so good. He literally is on the cover of 30 or 40 different men's fitness magazines where he looks like what we call beef jerky, where it's just unbelievably ripped and this kind of thing. And in some cases, he looks so good, you don't think that's actually him, but it is. So the imperfection is actually what you want. Because with great copywriting, great storytelling, there has to be some kind of drama, some kind of failure, some kind of issue to overcome, some challenge that we all can get behind. That's the imperfection. So we intentionally want that. That's why I'll intentionally use ums and ahs now and then. I don't use ums and ahs. I've completely eliminated that from my vocabulary. I only do it when I want to. Starting a sentence with the word so, or like, or filler words, ums and ahs, those are all garbage. So don't use them unless you're doing it intentionally. Who else?
I'll give it a try.
All right.
It's to me a story, and Dennis, you may relate to this because this really happened. You're gonna laugh. All right, here we go, guys. Ready?
Yep.
I opened up my phone, and there it was, a message from my coach. I know this. Like, why was I doing this? I know what top of the funnel is. I teach this. It's what I teach my clients. It's the first step in my 4C's framework. It's captivating. How to captivate your audience. How do you want to captivate your audience if they don't know your story? And it dawned on me, I'm not telling my story enough. When was the last time that you told your story to your audience?
Yeah, that was almost too good. It sounded like a commercial.
Oh, sorry. I have a lot of video practice. I get nervous around like small groups, but public speaking, like I can tell stories.
You're a natural. Do that. Just like you have now, this natural vibe, that's what you want to come through. You're too good. Because you've done a lot of it, you will suppress some of those things. So notice how you just were the last 30 seconds versus when you were talking. When you were done giving your little speech was actually when you were more authentic.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right, who else? I want to share some other components because today we're talking about how to give killer presentations. And this is a little thing that we put together. So we talked about the bounce. We talked about how do you create this emotional connection, how the energy level needs to go up, how you're specifically acknowledging other people. Just like street performers, they'll give out $10 to other people because they know that that's going to reflect back, but just also the bounce, right? See how the bounce is, the street performers will say, hey, let's give a hand to, Gayla, who came up and volunteered to, let us do whatever, right? A magic trick. All of that is preparing for the bounce so that at the end, they're going to collect the money, that kind of thing. So when you acknowledge people by name, when you use specific examples to tell stories, which is about showing instead of telling, you apply the bounce so that they feel the same kind of emotion. You look in the camera, you speak clearly, you can use different kinds of props. My friend Shep Hyken wrote a book called I'll Be Back. He's a customer service executive, keynote speaker, all that kind of stuff. I made a video with him yesterday about his book. He's got a video where he's dressed up as the Arnold, talking about how great customer service is really key to keep them coming back. I thought that was awesome. So I love using props. Props are how we get people's attention, especially in this coronavirus scrolling on Facebook, TikTok kind of world where there needs to be some kind of movement, some kind of attention. Open-ended questions that are instead of yes or no, but allow for 2 or 3 choices, or allow us to uncover the issue or the identity that people are dealing with, just like we do in the Tolstoy. So we know how to make lots of little 1-minute videos, 15-second videos, walking on the beach with our toes in the sand. It can be then, how are you feeling today? It can then be, which of these people or which of these situations do you identify with? So if we are great at making 1-minute videos and we can stitch them together into different pieces like we talked about in interactive sequences in last week's office hours, now we have the virtual Mark Lawrence. So instead of a 1-page copywriter, words, call to action, now it can go in any particular direction because that is what a real relationship, that is what a live conversation would be like. Then give away your knowledge. That's how people connect. That's how people see that you are not hiding anything and you're being authentically you, like Dr. Kim. She's not holding anything back. You can tell she's not. Her body language is in full alignment on that. And then when we've recorded these pieces, because everything should be recorded, not because we're the government or something like that, but because we want to capture these moments, we want to honor other people, power's in the replay. We know that when we have a great experience and we have the power of modern day cell phones and cameras, everything is available for reuse and repurposing to be cut into little snippets where we honor other people. We talk about their successes. We share our knowledge, which is why, how, and what. We have a call to action. I'd love to connect with you, right? Here's a story about something that's meaningful to me. I then bounce it. Then I go to the why, or the why to the how. I'm sharing my knowledge. And then I'm making a call to action. I can take any content that I've ever made anywhere and I can use it, such as spending time with Amanda Holmes and Brendan King when we're at Traffic and Conversion Summit, or spending time last week with the folks at Digital Marketer. There's the new president right here. We're making videos together. We have behind the scenes moments, which you haven't seen because this just happened. I can say nobody has seen this before. You guys are the first to see this. Right? Check it out, all these. And then I play golf later that afternoon with my friend who started Conversion.ai, which is now Jarvis. We've made a bunch of videos together, right? This is stuff that I can reuse in my sequences. Here, Dave Rogermeister, who is 1.5 feet taller than me, almost 2 feet tall. And he's the founder of Jarvis, which I think is the most incredible tool. Why is Jarvis growing so fast?
It's a great product. It actually works. Absolutely right. Confident.
The guy is 6'8" and is a pro golfer. He's incredible. It is embarrassing how good he is at golf and how bad I am. But it was amazing because we had a good time and we captured these moments, and these moments that show empathy and connection and build authority, all part of my topic wheel, which sit inside the framework of the personal brand manager, of all the raw content inside the content library, right? Content library is the giant filing cabinet. The items that were organized are in our personal brand manager. The very best items are inside the topic wheel. The very best of those best are inside the 3x3. And they're all composed in 1-minute videos, all composed as combinations of 1-minute videos. And we practice every day, just like breathing, making 1-minute videos, showing empathy, being able to bounce, extracting knowledge out of other people because we interview them on our podcast. We have micro examples and opportunities to learn like we do here inside this Zoom call, whether it's live or on the replay. So I want you guys to see that powerful communication is based on being able to relate with other people in a live environment that you're going to use in the replay, but that requires practice and skill to make it look easy like you saw with Colin. So that's today. How do you think we did on a scale of 1 to 10?
Good.
Let's see some fingers. How'd we do? Is everyone motivated to see how these pieces fit together? To be able to make their 1-minute videos, even though we might be a great copywriter like Mark, and we know it's just in our head. JJ, I know, was thinking about saying something, but she just didn't use the opportunity this time, but next time she will. I know, right? Not everyone's going to be like Dr. Kim or Tom, where we're outspoken. I love how Gayla came out and shared and did several examples of the bounce, even though she'd never done that before. And it didn't come out as beautiful as someone who's done it thousands of times, but it was still pretty good, wasn't it? You just got to do it. Who was it that said we just got to do it? Somebody said that. And you could be as polished as Jay Franco because you're a pro, but maybe even too good. Or you're someone like Tucker where you turn your camera off because for some reason you don't want to talk very much unless people ask you. But you should make more. I want to encourage you guys all to make more. Jorge or George, you're doing great. Yeah. Thomas is awesome seeing. We're going to repurpose all those videos that we have. Isaac, man, you need to share more about who you are. Even though you've got a successful agency, they got to see more of who you are, how awesome you are. Awesome, guys. Well, I want to see a ton of 1-minute videos. I want to see a ton of examples of stuff that you've made. If any of you guys want to make TikTok videos with me or run TikTok ads, I'm doing a ton of TikTok ads over the next 4 days. So just holler, let me know, hit me up. We're using this for TikTok and for Perry Marshall. All right, guys. Well, that concludes today's office hours. Any final thoughts?